I'll give this movie credit because the title was accurate. Why? Because after watching this movie, I seriously wanted to drink bleach.
I see it, and now it's all within my reach. I see it now. It's always been inside of me. And now I feel so free. And there's possibility. And there's possibility. And there's possibility.
Hello everyone, and today I'm taking a look at Suicide Squad. There's not much to say about this movie other than the fact that this is one of the rare occasions where a superhero movie won an Oscar. Yes folks, we live in a world where Avengers Infinity War and Endgame didn't win an Oscar, but this movie did. But anyway, let's just look at the plot of the movie. This movie takes place after the events of Batman vs. Superman, where Superman is dead, and Amanda Waller decides, hey, why don't we try to make a team in case of another Superman comes to Earth and is evil? So, rather than call up the Justice League, just call up Wonder Woman or someone like that, she decides, why didn't I get the supervillains to do the job for us?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Really? I know a lot of people make fun of this idea, but still, it's a stupid idea. And she makes Task Force X, or as it's called, the Suicide Squad. And their mission is to stop the Enchantress from doing what every other villain does nowadays, and by creating a portal in the sky and basically save the world. Now, before I get into my negatives with this movie, and trust me, there are a lot of negatives, let me show off my few positives real quick. Number one, for the most part, the actors do a fine job. They have some good chemistry, and there are some funny jokes between them, but yeah. And also, another thing I do like about the movie is some of the characters, like, for example, Deadshot. I thought he was pretty fun, even though Will Smith is pretty much playing Will Smith, but he is at least having fun, and like I said earlier, he does have some funny moments. Also, I thought Margot Robbie was good as Harley Quinn. She was pretty nice to watch. And also, El Diablo was a pretty interesting character. I like how he decides, I'm not going to do this because, unfortunately, when in his past, he accidentally killed his family because he let the fire out. Because he's made a fire and got a little too angry. That's actually pretty interesting. Too bad there's one problem with this. Because in the movie, when he's in that little, I don't know how to explain it, it's like this little can thing. I don't know, like an oil rig or something like that. They show him a video of him killing people in a prison yard. Okay, so quick question: was that video taken before or after he killed his family? Because he said he stopped killing after he murdered his family. Did he just decide, okay, I'm just gonna kill these random people and then be done? That's the one problem with El Diablo's ideas in the movie.
Don't touch me! Oh, you don't want me to touch you? Oh, look, I'm touching you, I'm touching you,
But Deadshot doesn't realize it can take years to transform a man who's sworn on violence.
Wow, that took like nothing.
Yeah, I know. But still, at least he was nice to watch, and his sacrifice was pretty cool. Well, I'll fully admit. Another thing I do like about the movie is Amanda Waller. She is pretty intimidating a lot of time.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Though there is one major problem with her plan. She says to Rick Flag, hey, you needed these guys to save me. Really? Because aren't we forgetting the fact that Enchantress was originally going to be part of this team? So, what you're saying is that if Enchantress never got out, in fact, if Enchantress was never part of the team to begin with, none of this would have happened. It's all your fault, Amanda. But, even so, and I'll fully admit, again, there are some funny moments. Like, there is a part where they're at a bar, and Rick Flag says, you're all free to go. So what does Captain Boomerang do? He decides to take his beer and run off. if he decided to leave the movie after that, I thought it would have been hilarious, but no, he comes back for no reason. Okay, those are my positives. Now let's get my negatives. First off, like I said earlier, the story is not very good, because this is a movie about a supervillain team. That is an interesting idea, because think about it, imagine what different things we can do with this idea, because normally with superhero movies, they're all about a superhero stopping the big bad and saving the world. So with this thing, you'd think that they would do something different, you know, to spice things up. No, they decided to do the generic let's save the world plotline like every other superhero movie, and like I said earlier, a portal in the sky. Why does every other superhero movie after Avengers feel like they have to do that? Because with Avengers, it was the first one to do that, so I'm okay with it. But after that, a lot of other superhero movies decided to do that cliche. In fact, after the Avengers, the only other movie I can excuse the portal in the sky thing was with The Amazing Spider-Man, because at least with that movie, it came out like, say, a couple weeks after Avengers. I don't know, but I can at least forgive it there, because maybe they were Avengers and The Amazing Spider-Man were being worked on at the same time, so I can forgive it. But here, no. They do it because every other superhero movie feels like it needs to do this cliche. And also, another problem is with, why doesn't Amanda just call up the Justice League? Like, seriously, I know I said that earlier, but it still repeats. Because I'm pretty sure Wonder Woman and Batman would more than be willing to help you out, Amanda. Because at the end of Batman vs. Superman, Batman said that he would try to honor Superman's legacy by keeping the world safe. That's why he gets the Justice League. And don't tell me Amanda did not have files of the Justice League, because at the end of the movie, during the post-credits scene, she gives those files to Bruce Wayne, so she had those the entire time. And then, another problem I have with the movie is that while I said I like the characters and the actors do a good job interacting with each other, other than and Harley Quinn, Deadshot, and El Diablo, the other ones are just kind of boring. Captain Boomerang, I don't know what to tell you. He just throws boomerangs. Not much to say. And then there's Katana. Who even was she in this movie? I mean, the only thing that's interesting about her is that her sword kills, whenever her sword kills people, their souls go into it. That's the only thing interesting about it. And also, the other members, like Killer Croc, he only does one thing important in the movie other than beat people up, because at the end of the movie they need to go underwater, and conveniently he's the only one who can do that. So yeah, that's the only reason he's in this movie. And another thing, a lot of the times the editing feels so weird. It feels like I'm watching a music video half the time, and even when I saw this movie in theaters, it just felt awkward. Now let's get the big elephant out of the room. Jared Leto as the Joker. I know a lot of people hate him as a Joker, but yeah, I'm going to say it anyway. He's terrible. In fact, just look at him. He looks like a joke. This does not look like the Joker. This looks like someone pretending to be the Joker. And here's the thing. They even say in the movie, well, there's actually like a part with Harley Quinn when they show her like her backstory. There's like these things, like a list of what she's done. And it says she assisted Joker in the murder of Robin. That's right, folks. Out of all the live-action interpretations of the Joker, this is the only version that managed to kill off Batman's sidekick. Really? If it were Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, or Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal of the Joker, I could buy those versions killing off Robin. But this? Really? And also, even on my first viewing of the movie, whenever he talked, half the time he sounded like he was doing a Jim Carrey impersonation. Take a listen.
You are my guests to this handsome hunka. I had a dog, and his name was Bingo.
See what I mean? And they even tried to do a fake out death with the Joker in this movie, and I'm like, really? Warner Brothers, do you honestly believe that we're going to think that you're going to kill off your biggest villain in his first movie? Well, to be fair, they killed off Superman in his second film, so why should I be surprised? But still, he doesn't get killed off, and yeah. And also, here's the problem with that scene. Because Amanda Waller tells Deadshot, hey, if you kill Harley, then you're free to go, and you can hang out with your daughter as much as you want. So, what does he do? He decides to not kill Harley. Really? What's more important to you, man? Your daughter that you've known for years? Or some random crazy chick who you've only met for about, like, a couple hours? Seriously? Deadshot, I mean, I like you and all, but still. And also, Chantress, she was a decent villain, I'll fully admit, compared to some of the other DCEU villains, like, say, Doomsday or Lex Luthor. She is a bit of an improvement, but she's not that much better than, say, Steppenwolf. She is better than Steppenwolf, but not by much. But that's only because she actually has a decent plan and motivation for why she wants to take over the world. Because, basically, the reason why she wants to take over the world is that when she was younger, her people worshipped her and her brother as gods, and nowadays, people worship technology, so she wants to use technology to destroy humans. That's actually a pretty good idea, but other than that, not much to her other than she dances throughout half the scene she's in. But, yeah. And also, there's a problem with her, because at the end of the movie, they say that, oh, if you destroy the heart, then her and the person who she's in the body with, like, basically, Rick Flag is dating the person who shares the body with Enchantress. They say if you kill the heart, she also dies too, but when they do destroy the heart, only Enchantress dies, and Professor June lives, so it almost makes you think, what was the freaking point of this villain? God. And also, then there's the action scenes. They're not very good. In fact, this leads to another problem with this being a team that's supposed to take on the next Superman. Only 2 of them have metahuman powers. That was being El Diablo and Killer Croc, but even then, most of the time he just punches. But other than that, all they do is just punch and shoot people. Well, technically those blobby things that Enchantress makes, but yeah, the action's pretty dang boring. There's not much to say about Suicide Squad that hasn't already been said. It is a mess of a movie. And I'll fully admit, on my first time, even when I saw the movie in theaters, I enjoyed it. On repeat viewings, it's one of those movies that gets worse and worse the more times you'll watch it, rather than getting better. So, yeah, I would like to stay here all day and state the problems, but if you've seen any other review of Suicide Squad, you know what the problems are. And I'll fully admit, when I rewatch this movie, yeah, I still hate it more and more. So that being said, I'm going to give Suicide Squad a 3 out of 10. I'm sorry this review was a bit short, but hey, I still did not like this movie, and reviewing this movie was a bit of fun. But other than that, yeah, just skip this movie. Thankfully, we do have the Suicide Squad movie coming out next year, with James Gunn directing it. I trust James Gunn because, well, he directed the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, so I think he's in good hands. But still. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoy, and when we get back here, we'll review the last DCEU movie that came out, that being Birds of Prey, and I'll also explain my problems with the DC Extended Universe. That being said, I hope you enjoyed, and see you all later.